They say age is nothing but a number, but is that really the case? When it comes to business, does it actually matter to how old you are? Do people look at you differently if you have experience or if you're fresh? If you are very social media savvy or if you're old school? So many questions, and I definitely have so many answers. In today's conversation, I have three incredible individuals with me. Well, let's just say one of them happens to be just about 16 years old. The rest, well, we're 30 sexy forever. We won't disclose any more than that. This is the ME Show.
Girls on me, on the dance floor, all eyes on me. Who is he? Then you better come get your girl dog. All eyes on me, party like a rock star. You can find me in VIP. All eyes on me, yeah, where the girls are. This is how your night should be. All eyes on me,
all eyes on the prize, money supersized. G5 super fly, should be supervised. Do or die, open up your eyes, head to the sky. Keep a mean bad mommy on the side. Make a tsunami, kamikaze on the mind. Spit flow, paparazzi flash shine. Get dough, champagne, Merlot. Cash and tango, in the VIP. Now she wanna touch her ankle. Get low, mueve mami como el dembow. All eyes on me, peeping through the window. Get mine, get yours, believe it or not. In the meantime, I'ma keep my eyes on the
all
top.
eyes on me, drinks on me, girls on me, on the dance floor. All eyes on me, who is he? Man, you better come get your girl dog. All eyes on me, party like a rock star. You can find me in VIP. All eyes on me, yeah, where the girls are. This is how your night should be.
All eyes on me indeed, and welcome back to a new installment of the ME Show. My name is Ali Midawi, and I go by your strategic partner. And today I got the man, the myth, the legend with me, Dr. Stan Harris, a.k.a. Dr. Breakthrough, six-time co-author of 6 best-selling books, motivational speaker, Hall of Famer motivational speaker, one of the best people that you can ever have in your circle when it comes to this business thing. And with us, we have two incredible individuals that Dr. Breakthrough himself has had the opportunity to work with, collaborate with, and interact with. And he's going to introduce both of them because they're definitely a huge asset to today's conversations. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Dr. Breakthrough. Let us know who we have on today's session.
All righty. Well, hello, everyone. And again, Ali, I'm so glad also to be able to collaborate with you because I say you the brother like no other. You the master disaster. Can't say it no faster. You too strong to be weak, too sweet to be sour. You can't take credit as God and your wife's power. And of course, so thank you, buddy. Hey, first of all, we got two powerful gentlemen, Dr. Paul Chipman. Oh, my goodness. This guy is a counselor. He's pastored. He's a leader. Matter of fact, just the other day, I saw a powerful video by Dr. Tony Evans, who's, the urban alternative, endorsing this powerful book of Dr. Chipman, Think Right, Live Right, a book that I've read that I love. And he and I have collaborated on some things as well. I've had him speak several times and people are just blown away because of how his words empower people, because it's what changed his life. And his lovely wife as well. They do powerful seminars and so forth. So we have Dr. Paul Chipman. And also, we've got Keo. Oh, my goodness. What can you say about this? The best thing to say is he's a 16-year-old phenom. That's what I'm going to tell. Because this guy, when does a 16-year-old go on your website and buy your book, Your Breakthrough is Guaranteed? Then he bought the book, How to Build a Big Team Fast. Then he took the course, 21-Day Breakthrough Challenge. Now he's taking the 30-Day Mental Martial Arts. And I found out he's been using his mom's information to build a network marketing company that his grandfather has. And it's just incredible. And here's the thing. He's hungry. He's humble. He's on fire. And to me, I'm telling you, to have this young man that has the biblical emphasis and the business combined together. And so he's also going to be one of our speakers, just like Dr. Chipman, at this powerful Breakthrough Freedom Challenge we have coming up. And of course, I'll lead you as well. So I'm glad to have these two powerhouses. And we've got some other folks on. They said, wait a minute, you got a 16-year-old. I'm getting my 12-year-old daughter. I'm getting my 10-year-old. I'm getting my 15-year-old. They got to hear this guy. I said, well, Dr. Chipman's not that much older.
Yeah, like I said, we stopped counting at 36. That's it. Once you go to that 36, that's it. You don't need to count anymore. Well, gentlemen, I'm grateful to have you all in here. And I definitely want to start the discussion with you, Keo. being a 16-year-old usually comes with a bit of judgment from other individuals, like, oh, you're a 16-year-old. What can you add into my life? What can you teach me? And that's, again, a blessing and a curse, because in my opinion, I started very, very young in the business community when I was 19, and I used to deal with that a lot. And it was always about, I'm just building my character. Everything you're telling me is only making me stronger. How do you deal with the fact that you may be looked at as, you're just a 16-year-old, you have a lot to learn?
That's a good question, Ali, and I appreciate the introduction, Dr. Stan. And I get that all the time, like you were saying. People are like, oh man, you're 16, you can't do this, you can't do that. To me, I look at them and I say, where are you at? Where are you at? Where do I want to be? Are you at where I want to be spiritually, financially, and physically? And if you're not, then I don't want to take your advice. And 99% of the time, the people who speak down on you are not the people who are above you. It happens all the time. People who are encouraging, people who are actually done successful things, built businesses, know that there's potential in someone as a youth. So what I see all the time is people, I just take it with a grain of salt. I'm like, okay, man, you're not where I want to be financially, spiritually, physically. I'm not going to take your advice. There's nothing to do with that. So I'm content where I'm at, and I'm just focusing on building my team for God and not against God. And people who are discouraging you are building against God.
Ooh,
I love it. So, Dr. Chipman, I'm going to give you the same question in a different context. There are many individuals that are 30 plus, let's just, to be politically correct, not target any specific age bracket, that would not give Keo, the benefit of the value that he represents. Does that have to do with being stuck in our old ways? Does that have to do with limited negative beliefs? What, in your opinion and with your experience, why do you think people are sometimes blocking possibilities and opportunities that may be coming their way?
All right, well, great question. Thank you, Ali, and Dr. Stan. Thank you for the intro. I think what comes to my mind is the story in the Bible about David and Goliath. And they counted him out also simply because he was young. That was really the only issue. And I think that many times we are limited with respect to our mindset because of the source from which the information is coming. God has a variety of ways of answering, and God has a variety of ways of individuals whom he will use. And when we close our minds to it, so I think it's just a matter of us having our own preconceived ideas of what a young person can do, versus being able to have an open mind to say, hey, God could speak through this young man or this young woman just as well as he could speak through someone who's a little older and more and perhaps has more life experience. But more life experience doesn't necessarily mean that you have more godly wisdom and understanding. And that wisdom comes through your experiences, comes through your walk with God. And for the most part, I find it important to just simply leave your mind open, knowing God will speak to whomever he chooses at whatever time.
No, I hear you now. And Dr. Breakthrough, I'll come back to you because, hearing both gentlemen share their perspective, it really reminds me so much of you, because you are the person who says, listen, your opinion is none of my business. I am going to be who I am. And, from your perspective in 4 decades, and I know you and I, as young of a career that I have compared to the wisdom that you have, we had to overcome some stuff, and we had to definitely go through some people that were roadblocks for us to create the breakthroughs that we wanted to have. How do you deal with closed-minded individuals overall? Do you even invest any time to try to, convert them into open-minded, or do you just say, you know what, the time isn't right for you and move on?
Wow. Again, so Ali, thank you. And I want to say, first of all, both of you guests, your answers and the words that you're giving, they're not just powerful. I sense it's coming from your essence. And I think that's what makes a difference in people's lives. And so, Ali, I remember being Keo's age. I started speaking when I was 15 and traveling around. So I remember that. And one of the greatest scriptures someone gave me, let no man despise thy youth. That helped me out a lot. And then as I got older, and now that I just hit 60 years wise, not old, wise, now there's some folks that look at me like, oh, you're a little older, so of course I had to cover the gray hair out. But anyway, so it's now I'm getting it from both, so I've been both perspectives. But you're right. Here's the thing I had to realize, and that is this. I say this, your walk talks and your talk talks. but your walk talks louder than your talk talks. And your walk speaks so loud, I can't hear a word you say. And so one of the things my beautiful wife, my ABCD, my adorable brown caramel delight told me and taught me, and that is there's some people that deserve your silence. So they don't even give energy to some of these things, right? And so here's the thing. I learned, though, to say, I appreciate thank you for giving your opinion. Right? Yep. But again, your opinion of me is not going to become my reality. And I only allow God's opinion of me to become my reality. I think that's what causes Akio at his quote unquote young age to do the great things that he's doing. That's what causes Dr. Chipman to be doing the things. I mean, his story from being down and depressed and out and the great things that he's doing. So all of us have those things. So yes, you have to learn, like I say before, I call it $1 million piece of advice. And Keo actually said it. And that is never accept constructive criticism from someone who's never constructed what you would like to build. Okay. So if somebody's if you're wanting to be in the health field and someone's a doctor, now I'm going to listen, okay? But if I'm in a home-based business and they've never built a home-based business and they want to tell me they don't think I should do this, then I'm going to, like Keo said, just kind of let that one go. Yeah. And again, validate them for giving them, because they have a right to their perspective, but I have a right not to embrace a perspective that doesn't empower me. Does that make sense? Yes, no, yes, 100%. Or yes.
Yes, and yes. All of the above. I see what you did there. Hey, Keo, so I'm curious because we all can learn from you. Where do you get your drive, your excitement, your motivation to wake up and say, I'm gonna build a business? No, I'm not gonna go play video games or, because I connect with you so much, by the way. I remember every single time. So my wife and I started our careers young. We bought our house young. We got married young. We're living the life that most people, when they're ready to retire, are living it right now young, right? So where is that stamina coming from that tells you I'm gonna give those things that most people are doing, I'm gonna do me in the business sense that is not the traditional life of a 16-year-old? Where do you get that drive?
Man, that's a really, really good question, Ali. I really appreciate that. And this is what it stems from. It's freedom. That's what I want. I want to be free. I want to travel where I want. I want to retire my family young. I don't want to be constantly stuck working for someone else my entire life. And I found that to 99% of the time, the only way to do that is through entrepreneurship. And through this process, I've been growing so much spiritually, financially, physically, actually, too. The personal growth is overwhelming through entrepreneurship and network marketing. The drive for me is growing as a human being and living in a free state. That's what I want. I want freedom from it. I don't want to be enslaved to society.
Yeah, no, I love that. And congratulations again, young mind, but my man, you are beyond your age. Dr. Chipman, I'm intrigued to hear your perspective as to a lot of times we as people, we're quick to assume that somebody is lazy and they don't want it bad enough. But there's usually something deeper than that. What do you think is the reason why a person just doesn't feel like I need to make more money or get healthier or get more abundance in my life? Or is there something that we are not educated on, our formal education, or we're just not taught that the very select few are doing, those top performers are doing? So where, with the individuals you work with and you advise, how would you say, here is what I would advise you to identify and how to become motivated and have that drive that you need?
Well, that's a very good question. And I would say that many times, for many people, that sometimes one might perceive them as being lazy or lacking motivation. Many times, underneath of it, as a counselor, you work all your way down to the bottom. And many times it's simply a fear at the bottom, at the base of it. Fear and previous failures and setbacks. And as a result, they've come to conclude that their situation is hopeless. And that's kind of like where I was at one particular time after a series of setbacks. And many times people have not learned, do not have a theology of failure. That failure, that a setback, as you oftentimes hear, is merely a setup for a comeback. And because of the fact people many times view, if God were really with me, then things would go a whole lot smoother and things would go a lot better and they would go a lot faster. But in reality, God is about God uses our trials and our tests to bring about what I call PMS. And men don't like to talk about PMS, but what God's doing through the trial and through the test, he's building perseverance, he's molding our character, and he's strengthening our hope. Okay, and those are the things that God is doing. So once you begin to get a theology of failure and you understand God uses failure to mature us, to mold us, to shape us into his image, then therefore failure is now a position in which we can thrive, because we know trouble don't last always, but tough people do.
Yeah, no, I love
the Holy Spirit, man. So
yeah, it reminds me of in the great words of the man himself, Les Brown. You know, it's a character building day. It's never a bad day. And you know, those who know me well, every now and then I'm having a bad day. I'm like, man, today was the best character building day ever. Those who don't know, you know, they're like, congratulations. And I'm like, only if you know, you know. But it's a good way to put a positive, you know, outlook on it, because it really made me stronger. You know, like if I survive that, my goodness, I am invincible. Now, which brings me to you, Dr. Breakthrough. You know, you talk about breaking through barriers and fear. You had, I think was it an 86-year-old woman that was on stage and you had her break boards?
An 81-year-old woman, but then when I spoke in another place and mentioned that, there was an 86-year-old man that said, I'm not going to be outdone by 81-year-old.
There you go. Yeah. So I mean, there's a lot of fear in like already established belief system for someone. How do you get them to transform in an instant to say, you may be afraid of this thing, but I know you can do it? Because I know I saw you repeatedly break stuff, and I was like, please don't call on me. Please don't call on me. Please don't call on me. So could you educate on how can you create that? I'm about to help you overcome your fear and change your mindset right away. Like what like happens in that moment?
Well, the great thing is, you know, a lot of times when I'm doing my presentations, and you know, it's a metaphor and it's a physical way of helping people to understand what has to happen in their mind. Because remember now, even this breakthrough challenge, even Keo, even Dr. Chipman, what we're really all about is empowering people, get ready for this, to beat the bully in their brain. That's what it boils down to. You got to beat the bully in your brain. And so I've asked people this, you know, Ali, I'll do it. I say, hey, is anybody here that's never broken a board? Raise your hand. They raise their hand. Okay, who here has never broken a board, but you know you can't break a board? Then they raise their hand. I said, good, I need you to come on up. And every time you're like, wait, what are you talking? No, I need you. I said, because here's what I'm going to show you. Here's the breakthrough. If I can just show you in just a couple minutes, I'm going to teach you a few things. Watch this out. That will empower you, that will release the fear and allow you to do what you think you can't do. Then that's going to help you in other areas of your life. You know, so they reluctantly come up and I said, I'm going to teach you a few things. Well, I teach them a few things. And as Dr. Chipman, his powerful book, it's rewiring the brain from failure to success to I can. And I asked a simple question a lot of times. If you were me, could you break this board? And they're like, well, of course. And so sometimes I'll just jokingly say, okay, the power that's invested in me, and I'll touch them, I now give it to you, you know? And, but I also say this, I would not ask you to do something that I didn't believe you can do. And the power of a mentor is this: a mentor's been somewhere where you haven't been, has done some things you haven't done, but most importantly, sees in you what you might not be able to see yet in yourself. And I tell them my story of how I thought that was impossible. And I learned a few principles. I teach them those few principles. And I'm like, and here we go. And in every instance, Ali, every instance, they say the same thing. Oh my goodness, that was like so easy compared to what I thought it would be like. I mean, in some cases, like it was a little sting, but it was like, no. I mean, it was like, so I said, in other words, all that was in your brain. And I taught you a few things. I gave you an example. I inspired you. And here's the key. And I challenged you. I pushed you out of your comfort zone, and success and your next breakthrough is on the other side of your comfort zone. That's where the Keos and the Dr. Chipmans come from. These are people that allowed someone to challenge them to come outside their comfort zone. And that's why they're enjoying the success. And just like you, Ali, and again, I can't say enough good about you, man. I just appreciate you. And tell Sebastian I said, come on now. I can't wait to teach him how to break a board.
I got to send you a video of the little man. He does some stuff that he's seen us do when we were in Florida working together. So it's amazing to see how much he absorbs and he repeats everything. Keo, I'm going to go back to you. What message do you have for those who are early on their lives in terms of starting a business or considering a business or wanting to leverage social media and digital space, but there's, again, that hesitancy. Maybe I don't know what I'm doing. What is your message to that individual?
The first thing I would tell someone, especially if they're in the younger bracket or anyone in general, is build your foundation first. Build your mindset first. This is where you have to start. You have to invest in personal growth books. You have to read. You have to absorb. There's this one man who said, "You're the average of in 5 years of the books you read and people you meet." Meet new people. Try to find a mentor, and when you find one, absorb everything like a sponge for him. Take it all in, and just keep learning and build your foundation and build yourself up. And most importantly, never give up. That's no matter whatever it is. I don't care what you're doing. Just keep going, and you're gonna hit it. You just have to be persistent, consistent, have the right mindset, and give back. I would tell that to someone my age too. Give, always give.
Right on, right on. And now I'm gonna come back to you, Dr. Chipman. I do have to ask, same question, different perspective. How about that person says, maybe it's already too late for me. I'm way past my time. I don't know how to catch up with this social media stuff. I don't think I have it anymore. What is your message to that person?
Yeah, I would agree just what Kia was saying. And that's why I entitled this book. It's called Think Right, Live Right. Okay. Because it all kind of starts right in your mind. All right. And so that's the key component. We just simply have to basically believe that we can. As it relates to getting older, many times people feel as though we have to recognize one thing before I go further, that within our mind, we have an inner critic. I call it an inner critic. We have this negative voice that speaks to us whenever we're attempting to do something that challenges us, basically, when we're trying to do something courageous, to back down. That inner critic tells us, it's too late. You're too old. Your best days are behind you. You'll never be able to accomplish your goals or your dreams. God's not with you. He's favored others, but he hasn't favored you. And until we learn to shut down that inner critic by replacing that negative self-talk with God-affirmed self-talk, we will remain in bondage, and we will forever feel as though we cannot do it. That's what the Bible says, for as a man thinketh, so is he. And when we come to realize that it's just a voice in my head, and we come to realize that the voices and stuff that we hear and the thoughts that we think, we're not responsible for all those thoughts. There are things that just come into our heads and thoughts, and we have to learn to take those thoughts captive. What I call it is my 3 C's. You got to check them. What kind of thought is it? Challenge it, resist it, and then change it. And so I have a little thing I call ants and sats. Ants are automatic negative thoughts, need to be replaced with what I call SATs, spiritual automatic thoughts. The thought will come, I can't do it, but the Bible says, SAT says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So it's a matter of rewiring the brain. It's a matter of replacing those negative thoughts, quieting that inner critic, and replacing that with the word of God, and that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And greater is he who's within me than he who's in the world. And you can get about anything done that you want by God's grace and power. It's just a matter of replacing.
They say that's the mic drop, right? This is where we normally need to just say, all right, nobody follow this part right here. Just leave it right here. No, that was a lot of spot on, by the way. So ANT and SAT, I definitely will keep that in mind. A very simple way of thinking about it. Spiritual automatic thoughts. And do me a favor, if you don't mind, Dr. Chipman, can you hold the book up one more time?
Yes,
sir. For our dear viewers, real quick, take a screenshot of that. So you can go ahead and get your copy of Think Right, Live Right directly from Dr. Chipman. So we appreciate that. Awesome stuff. Dr. Breakthrough. So let's bring this thing home. These are amazing, incredible human beings. They have a powerful way of looking at life and doing life. And along with yourself, myself, are going to be sharing the Breakthrough Freedom Challenge. That is day 0 is this Sunday evening at 7 p.m. Eastern.
Yes,
and day 1 will be Monday. And by the way, day 0, we have
Tom Ziegler.
That is the one
son
and
of
only.
Zig Ziglar.
That's right. So here's the thing. That is literally day 0. That day 0 is just to let you know what you should expect on day 5. But we're like, yeah, no, let's bring a heavy hitter. Why not? Let's do that as well. So you need to go right now and register in breakthroughfreedomchallenge.com. And Doc, if you want to take a moment, please let everybody know why now more than ever they need to be part of the Breakthrough Freedom Challenge.
Well, by the way, Sunday night, we're also going to have the Reverend Dr. Haywood Robinson, a great friend of Dr. Chipman, is also going to be speaking with Tom Ziegler. And here's, Tom is following the legacy of his father, which has said, if you can get everything you want in life if you empower enough people to get what they want. Yep. So the Breakthrough Freedom Challenge, most people know COVID has hurt a lot of people. I lost 4 income streams, right? And it's made everybody have to change things and so forth. Now, because, and again, I have my book. I bought my book from Dr. Chipman, and he autographed it so wonderfully. And principles that I teach in the 21-day Breakthrough Challenge, I established 7 more income streams, as a matter of fact, so here's the thing, though. The thing is, people need not just inspiration, they need instruction. They need role models. And so this Breakthrough Freedom Challenge, we've got some like yesterday, Dr. Fran Harris, last month, she was on Shark Tank and she got a deal. Well, now she's going to be teaching people how to get on television, how to do these things. I mean, Super K is going to teach you how to turn your Facebook into a ATM machine. I mean, we've got all these different powerful speakers that is like a conveyor belt. And as people come to this challenge, seriously, we have people that get breakthroughs, not just in the week, but in the first session, right? And so this time more than ever, people are down. The country is divided. People are discouraged. People are confused. A lot of people are in almost a hopeless situation. So this time more than ever, people need to break through. And so we're going to give them not just the principles. We're going to give them, my friend, some people who have done it, are doing it, and most importantly, committed to reaching back out of love, compassion, and concern to help others. And we're going to make it fun, by the way. We're giving gifts and prizes.
And it's only $5,000 to register, right?
I've actually been paid as much as $47,000 to speak 1 hour. That's just me.
But how much you're charging for all of these individuals?
Well, that's what I'm telling you. I'm going to give you all a discount. You're going to get it for absolutely free. Absolutely free. Not just free, but there's bonuses. And we're going to incentivize you. See, I'm a man on a mission with a God-given vision, operating with focused precision that I believe will produce incredible breakthrough provision. So like Jesus, he gave out fish sandwiches. We're going to incentivize you. So when you go to breakthroughfreedomchallenge.com and sign up right now, just like Keo did, just like I did, Ali, and so forth, you're going to get your own link. And when you share that with others, if they do take our $7 one-time upgrade to get $4,000 of the bonuses, we pay 90% of that to you. If they do take the one-time offer, only $97 to get my world-famous breakthrough 21-day breakthrough challenge, which once you go through this 5 days, you want the next 21 days, right? But watch this, my friend, and you get all the recordings, you get all the extra VIP sessions and so forth. We pay 50% of that. So I got this idea from one of your partners, Ali, and now who I collaborate with. I made $1,000 at one challenge. Now, of course, I beasted it out now, and I invited a whole lot of people. But guess what happened, Ali? Some of them won prizes. Some of them won trips. And a lot of them emailed me, texted me back and said, oh, my life was changed. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And then I got rewarded for it. Oh, my goodness. So I close with this, Ali. If all this negativity has gone viral, why can't positivity go viral? Right. Why can't this go viral? And by the way, okay, I got to stop. I'm getting in preaching mode. This breakthrough challenge will keep you from being average, or being average will keep you from this breakthrough freedom challenge. And I maybe should have called it the breakthrough free challenge.
Yeah. Well, listen, if you read closely, it says breakthrough free challenge. So you already did put it in there. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a whole lot of virtual love to these gentlemen, Keo, Dr. Chipman, and Dr. Breakthrough. I genuinely appreciate you spending a little bit of time with us. And we look forward to collaborating not only in the Breakthrough Freedom Challenge, but beyond that in many, many, many different occasions, because a lot of people are hurting and they need to hear your voices. So we appreciate you and thank you. And until next time, have a blessed day, everybody. We'll see you soon.